A quote, "The darkest part of your journey gave birth to the strongest part of your life." We have to remember this is crucial. This is why practice is so important. Having the practice before bad stuff in life happens, because bad stuff in life is going to happen. It's not a threat. It's part of anyone's life that is growing. That being said, if you're not growing, hard is going to be part of your life, because aging is hard. So to grow and strengthen is hard. To not grow and weaken is also hard. We've reached a level in our world where people are wanting others to tone down or be, quote unquote, politically correct, or not be offensive, be polite, and of course, all of that is important. We want to be civilized, right? We want to be respectful. This is not just, choosing to be a bully. This is from the perspective of you. And if you're expecting other people to cater to your needs, and we all do, I mastered the art for 50 years. Now I'm unlearning this. But back to the most difficult, darkest times of your life gave birth to the best parts. It's the awareness again of the growing pains. So not pains as in Pain. That's like you get hurt and then it hurts. You have pain. But a pain is Pang, and it's due to emotional growth. It still hurts, but it's for a reason. The best example for women, which is who I usually see, and not all of them are mothers, but everyone is familiar with this, no matter if you're male or female, have children or not. You've had pets, you've seen pets, it's on TV. It's a part of life. You were born yourself. Growing pains are much like birthing, labor pains. Once you find out you're pregnant, there's only one way to get the baby here. Well, in today's world, there are two, but it's both birthing options. So it's the vaginal way or the cesarean way. Both are birthing and both are going to cause pain. We do have medications today, but in order to become the person you are meant to become, in order to fulfill the role that you are now responsible for or with, which is another human, a innocent, vulnerable, completely incapable and dependent for many years, your psyche has to undergo pangs in order to transform, to flip the switch to I was a child to I was a boyfriend, girlfriend, to now I'm, husband, wife, to now we're father, mother. And so the wedding, the engagement ring is, it's a fun transition, but it symbolizes, hey, we are not individuals on display for others anymore. When you get engaged, it's symbolic of, we're not married, but we have agreed that this is it. Then the marriage is the wedding. Then these are all symbols. But when it comes to becoming a new renewing of the mind, psychologically, there has to be a change. And people won't change when things are easy. Not typically. They can, certainly. But most of us need some sort of major event. Again, a pain, a fear, a struggle. So let's go back to, in the Christian story, the labor pain. Everybody wants to, vilify Judas, but nobody wants to sit and talk about the role that he had to agree to in order for such an incredible unfoldment to take place. So while it's easy to point fingers at Judas and say he's the bad guy, going back to our quote, bad things in life are what opened the door to your best things in life. If Judas would not have agreed to play the role of a bad guy, somebody had to do that. Somebody had to do that. Or the whole Christian story would have never taken place. Do you see the value in the betrayal? If you can't see the life-giving value in that person stepping up, performing that role that ended up costing him his life due to the guilt, which was a story he told himself. He had to do that. He was tasked to do that. Had he not done that, there would have been no crucifixion, no resurrection. At least not at that time, right? The story would be different, is my point. Maybe it would be the same eventually, but we wouldn't be talking about Judas. We would have to be talking about someone. Someone is my point. Some of us, which are the one, we're all one. We're just some of the one. Someone has to play that role. So in your life, it's very, very easy to blame and point fingers. Again, in the Christian world, churchianity, I call it, because it's not Christian, it's churchianity, to blame others. When there's a divine unfolding taking place, and someone has to play the role. But what we're missing here is that the sum of the ones is still the same. The one is individualized into some of us. So, God lives through you in order to fulfill divine unfolding. Don't hate the hard times in life. Understand what they're trying to unfold. And the quicker, which this does not mean be in a hurry, because this is not a time issue more than it is a wisdom issue. In time, when you begin to see those quote-unquote obstacles as not obstacles, but more guidance, because the obstacles are there because not everybody's going to accept the challenge. Not everybody is going to look ahead, see the obstacles, and accept the challenge. Only one or two will. And for different challenges, there's only one or two people that will, again, do that. Again, it's an individualized version. But your obstacles for your life are not there to prevent you from achieving what is divinely yours. They're there to prove that's how much you want it. That you're willing to go find a way, navigate around or over the obstacles. And you understand that when there's a Judas, that Judas is not there to hurt you. Judas is, again, the obstacle that helps with the unfolding. Now, when you have a victim mentality, this sounds like I'm okay with people doing you wrong. And I'm certainly not okay with that. I teach a whole program on boundaries. People who don't understand who they are don't have boundaries, therefore will have that victim mentality and can't hear what I'm saying, which is again why this practice is so important. Prior to having an event happen in your life that this, again, can sound cruel or like you're sticking up for the bad guy, because I'm not. The bad guy really just represents a person that doesn't know who they are. They're separated from their true self and living in survival mode, so everybody is a threat to them. You can get hurt by people like that. But when you know who you are, you have the protection, because that person in that low vibe state can't even see you. You're not even a target for them because you're not in the same frequency or vibe. They are going after another scared human to attack. Like attracts like when we're talking about it from this perspective. It's like flies to crap. That's what that means when you put it in, life perspective. So don't be afraid of when life throws the curveball. Nobody likes to see it coming, but the awareness is It's for you. It can be used for your embetterment, for your empowerment, for your advancement, for your evolvement, for your spiritual awakening. Only those, again, with victim mentality, and there's so many of us. I'm rewiring the nervous system myself and have been for 3 years, minimal. These are our growth opportunities, but too many go and shrink back down because they can't handle what life has going on anymore. And that's where I was, to the point where I had seizures. But the undoing of the fear, the resolution of the wrong memories, or wrong memories is not correct, unresolved memories, unresolved hurt and scary memories that were still looping in my brain, were still causing an enormous amount of fear, which meant I always ran around looking for potential threats and how to protect myself. So my body went into a state of fight, flight, which means autoimmune and the body physically degenerating, aging rapidly, gaining weight, unable to lose weight, severe digestive problems, on and on and on, even to the point of seizures. Once I resolved those unhealed memories that were stored within the nervous system and retrained it to be able to handle, have capacity for not more, but for good. I didn't try to give more. I practiced being able to handle, have capacity for safety and love and security. And it was then, only then, that I was able to see the improvements that I had been working on for no less than 30 years, professionally 20, but no less, I say 30, we have to go back to high school, before high school, 35 years. So I hope you find that helpful. Don't be afraid of life's, because you might find that when life throws that curveball, it's actually for you to help you propel. But you keep running from it because nobody's taught you how to understand life. Gosh, nobody's taught us how to understand our body, the messages from our body, the language of our body, what these symptoms mean. The world teaches us that symptoms mean problems, and that is false. It can mean that, but what it often means is those body symptoms are signals. They're just messages. But we label them instantly wrong, problematic, because that's what the world's taught you to do. They brainwashed you and taught you to do that. So you'll go buy from them instead of sitting with yourself freely and just comprehending what it's actually saying, what it's telling you. Understand the language of the body, understand the language of the psyche, understand what it is that life is trying to do for you, but we keep running from it unintentionally. We just don't know until you know.